Israel has stopped sending humanitarian aid to the Gaza Strip. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu warns of additional consequences if Hamas does not accept the proposal to extend the ceasefire. The decision came yesterday, just a day after the end of phase 1 of the ceasefire. In the second phase, Hamas is expected to release dozens of hostages in exchange for a lasting ceasefire. Israel says a new U.S. proposal calls for extending the ceasefire's first phase through Ramadan and Passover, which ends on April 20th.
Accepted President Trump's envoy, Steve Witkoff's plan to extend the temporary ceasefire by 50 days. During that time, we can discuss the conditions for a permanent ceasefire that will end the war in Gaza. In Witkoff's plan, half of the hostages would be released right away, and the remaining half would be released if we reach an agreement on a permanent ceasefire.
Netanyahu is already receiving backlash from ceasefire mediators. Egypt and Qatar accusing Israel of violating humanitarian law.
President Trump prepares to address a joint session of Congress this week as Europe tries to find a new strategy for Ukraine. All of this following last week's explosive Oval Office meeting with Ukraine's president. Doug Luzader has the latest from Capitol Hill.
A number of European leaders are stepping forward now on Ukraine with real questions over how the U.S. will move forward on a plan to end the war. No comments as President Trump returned to the White House last night after a weekend in Florida and a respite from Friday's remarkable Oval Office meeting.
You're gambling with World War III.
The tense exchange with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky scuttled an agreement between the two countries that the administration saw as laying the groundwork for a peace deal with Russia.
He really showed his lack of interest in any real good faith negotiations.
The administration blamed Zelensky over the weekend as European leaders met to plan a new way forward. Democrats blamed Trump for the blow-up.
I think that's what you saw on display, a clear decision by the president that he's for Russia on this effort and not Ukraine.
All of this as the president prepares for tomorrow's annual address to a joint session of Congress, a venue Trump is familiar with after his first term in office. But this time, expect an emphasis on Ukraine and government cost-cutting efforts here at home. And Congress, in turn, is bracing for a possible partial government shutdown next week.
And we're working in good faith, negotiating in good faith with our colleagues in Congress to get that done. And I hope everyone will come to the table and do their job.
Now, that deadline is next week on Friday, and at this point, lawmakers really only have time to pass a temporary spending plan to prevent a shutdown if they can. In Washington, I'm Doug Luzader for Good Day.
You can watch and listen to the president's speech before Congress right here on Fox Sports tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. Fox 4 will also present the Democratic response. It will be followed by Fox 4 News at 9.